I'm loaded in.
But lag though, I can't deal with lag. Like if I'm rubber banding, and it's like 200, 300, like the servers are shit. I can't deal with that.
I like
Yeah,
Darktide.
sounds
I'm not
standard.
saying Darktide's a bad game or anything. I definitely don't think that at all. But I think if you compare, because I played Vermintide 2 at launch, right?
Yeah.
Like if you compare Darktide to Vermintide 2 at launch, Vermintide 2 at launch was a more complete game with less bugs than Darktide. That's not even a controversial statement to say at all.
I'm building trains.
So
Why is my
I
cat?
feel
Why is my cat wet?
Wait, what?
Why is my cat wet?
There could be many reasons, and I don't know if you want to know the
Okay.
answer for all of them.
Your mods settings don't match. Okay, so I download mods that kill me. Okay, gotcha.
There's
You put your big boy pants on.
when you get to 5 stars in Darktide, and when you play high intensity, it gets pretty crazy.
I don't like the. There's so many issues I have with Darktide. Like,
Yeah.
okay,
What are the issues?
so like in
Yeah.
Vermintide, right? You
Mhm.
play. What I don't know what the fucking game we're playing. Let me see. Oh, this game. Okay, I remember this game sort of vaguely. I was spamming solar panels, I think. Right?
Yeah.
Sounds like a typical job.
Yeah.
That's why you always leave notes when you get off.
I don't want to play Darktide.
God
I want to
damn
play
it.
Factorio. I want
God
to
damn it. This is too much. We can play Darktide if you want.
No,
No,
I just think it's kind of funny. It's like I'd rather work in effect.
All the factories gotta like clear the heretics out. We're working on one right now because they finished the job.
Wait, how do I?
Solar panels.
Shoot, how do I join? Oh,
I
fuck.
do. No, you know, I remember
Can
this
just
game.
right
This was
click
the
and
game.
join?
This was the game where Troy started building over my solar panel farm with train tracks, and then Nog told me to fuck off and build somewhere else. That's basically
That's
how that
funny.
went. Yeah. Yeah, basically, like I'm a slave and they treat me like shit.
I'm a slave.
I mean, you're paid a wage, so don't use that term.
you wanna get used and abused. Yeah, you just keep coming back.
Oh my god, our labs are not going very well.
Oh, I'm not loaded in yet. My computer took like.
Yeah, but
forever.
anyway, I'm not saying I don't love Darktide because I do. Like I mean, it's still great. The gameplay is addictive for sure, but there's definitely some faults with the game. So
Yeah.
Absolutely. Like I said, like I'm used to playing faulted games. It's
What potions are we low of? Like what's?
I've learned to extract the things that I like. If I like the core aspect of the game, I learn to phase out the rest.
that's fair. Because if you don't have that approach, you kind of have a very negative opinion about games, right?
Well, just yeah, and like also like a lot of I don't like a lot of games. Like it's rare to find the games that like speak to me, if that makes sense. So it's like if I can't find one, I'm like, I just make it work. So.
Steel. Oh, we need steel.
You know, some steel issues.
Apparently
We are.
Alright, I'm building
Well,
trains.
where's the
So I'm
steel?
going to the bathroom. My guy's building. I'll be right back.
We should have enough steel. That's weird. I can make more steel. Like it's not.
Yeah, we need more steel. I think the trains maybe are stuck.
So Hocho, is there any plans to like upgrade, like build a new PC, or you're just gonna rock Ivy Ridge forever here?
Well, I don't know. I haven't really thought too much about it, but I probably should. Again, upgrade eventually. It's just that
Actually, like, what do you mean? Like, you need an upgrade tomorrow, man? Like,
well, it's like I haven't been working in school payments and everything, so. But I have an interview next week, so we'll see.
Did you ditch the
interview that
Verizon shit?
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's a multi-level marketing.
Yeah.
So.
did the interview that I don't know. I was vaguely
that
involved in
one
not work out.
Yeah, that one didn't work out, but that was because
That's unfortunate.
I don't think the hiring manager liked me at all. Like, she was super rude and aggressive, and I don't, dude. It was awkward. Like all the other hiring managers I've talked to are like perfectly fine. Because I would say I'm a pretty sociable person, and I like understand what it's like. But that lady was just like, oh, I don't even know, whole other type of person.
Dude, I gotta say, for Splitgate, there's nothing more satisfying than getting hit down to like 50% health, and then go through a portal behind the guy.
How dare you talk about Splitgate?
They're still looking for you.
It's fun. You're just
That's blasphemy.
being
Factorio is
Nancy.
good. I'm freaking building a train and be defending.
Listen, I will say this, okay? You guys could recommend terrible games for the next 25 games to me. Because you have recommended Factorio, I will always respect you. This game is like A++ tier.
It's like crack.
Yeah. Yeah. So, anyway.
Yeah.
That's all I have to say about that.
On that topic of respecting my opinion, no.
That's funny.
I think I'm gonna need some more.
Yeah, so basically, your opinion. No, I'm just kidding.
There's some missing efficiency modules over there.
Oh. There's missing efficiency modules, Harrison.
Where?
I pinked it.
Fuck, my bots are so slow. Oh god, do I have like shitty ass? I need to check my.
I'll do a sweep.
Oh yeah, setting up bots. Okay, I think we got a bot. We got some
where
bots.
Are the efficiency modules? I'm so confused.
Where do you pick them up?
No, like where are they missing?
Ones? I'll ping it again.
Oh, I saw that. Okay, that one drill.
Oh, there's a whole line.
Oh, though. Okay, well, the electric furnaces don't really need them as much, like at all. Like, they're so minimal already. But I guess I could. I don't think it's
important.
Yes. So I was increasing the. Could try to increase.
So I will 100% agree that Darktide's got tons of bugs, tons of shit. But I think as far as like mechanics, I like it more than Vermintide.
Like you gotta play Damnation high intensity, and everyone's like got their butts clenched 24/7. You know that's
like you're talking about like general gameplay, right?
Just like the mechanics, like toughness is way better than temp health. You know, the mix of ranged and melee was actually surprisingly cool, and I like the suppression mechanics where you can't just charge into the ranged guys. And you can't just sit in the middle of a room and shoot ranged guys. You gotta like, it forces you to take cover and like move strategically, like bunny hop, and make strategic like pushes forward. Where it's like, yeah, we're going now. Like there's like a lot of cool stuff that comes out that Vermintide missed.
I don't disagree with what you're saying. I would say I think that the gameplay in Vermintide 2 is at least like
a D minus.
Even if you say it's like slightly inferior to Darktide, that doesn't make up for Darktide's issues, like at all. And I don't think Darktide's gameplay is like vastly superior, right? It's like maybe it's a little bit better.
I think it is, which is why I appreciate it. Like Vermintide got into like a samey sort of just like swing your sword and dodge around, and you just dodge, swing your sword, dodge, swing your sword, dodge. Like, that was the game, and it was enjoyable, But like there's not a lot of thought process to it. It's just like you get into the groove of like dodging and swinging, and then you just do that until the level's over, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, it definitely makes sense. I would disagree with that. I think that Vermintide 2 gameplay is almost on par with Darktide. I would say it's slightly worse. I would agree with that. I think the extra element of shooting has made, and also like let's be honest, Darktide's gorgeous, right? It's just incredibly pretty.
It really is.
It really is gorgeous. They did such a good job with it. But I don't think it's that much worse, man. Like,
No.
maybe
I'm not saying
a
it's
little bit worse.
bad. I think. Well, one, I think the mechanics start showing a bit more on the harder difficulties. Like, you don't need to care about range so much until they start punching you in the ass and suppressing you to hell on, like, damnation. Like, the mechanics start bubbling out when you get to the hard modes, which is true for most of these style of games. Like, no one cares about anything until it gets hard, and then it's like, oh yeah, that mechanic does exist, and it is interesting, But until then, everyone's just like, swinging the sword,
Like, why do you need to stagger anyone? They're already dead. But
So, like, a lot of the Dark Tides mechanics, like, I don't think really shine until a little bit later,
Yeah,
Well,
later
I
it gets fucking crazy.
I mean, for what I've seen, higher difficulty Dark Tide is just ranged, sort of, kind of wins the day.
Well, Troy might say that. I'm on the side of Bull in the China Shop, sort of. I think there's two modes. Yeah, one, you sit behind a box and you shoot until they're all dead. Range, veteran wins the day. And then the other alternative is like, because the shooter guys suppress the shit out of you. If you're melee, you get pushed back. If you're ranged, they like hit your shots and like also outshoot you as far as damage goes. So you got to do something. And yeah, the easiest way to, or one of the easy ways to deal with melee guys is you just get in their face and then they turn into, or the ranged guys turn into melee guys when you get in their face. But the challenge is like getting into their face and getting into enough ranged guys' faces that you don't get pummeled. Like if you get in like range of half of them, then the other half just like ruin your day. And so like the skill and the challenge is like strategically putting yourself in those positions to basically disable all the ranged guys. And I think you can just go the shooter route, like the Call of Duty route, or you can kind of go the.
Have you ever played World War Z?
He did not.
Me? No, I've not played World War Z.
It's similar. The game is similar to World War Z at the harder difficulties, where it's pretty intense.
Well, you haven't played Vermintide, and he hasn't played World War Z, so you guys are like, it's probably hard to communicate.
I mean, like in its current state, I would prefer to play Vermintide 2 over.
Oh, you have not hit max level, so it's hard to. I think most of the mechanics in most of these games show it at higher levels, so it's like. It's like in WoW, when you're playing WoW, it's like you haven't played WoW until you're actually rating 25. It's like, if I'm just leveling up, you're like, well, you're not playing WoW.
Come on, I'm not saying Dark Tide's a bad game, but like...
It's a bad game.
Vermintide, no, it's not a bad game, but like, I guess what I'm trying to say is I don't think that it was ready to be released as a full...
No. Yeah, no, I just said I agreed with that. Yeah. I'm just saying, like, but the core mechanics that are there, that they could have released properly, are better, I think.
The game, yeah. I mean, there's definitely a good blueprint there for sure. The gameplay's great. They did a lot of things right for sure. And probably long term, it's gonna be great, right?
Well, they keep adding things, which is nice. It's not like they just
exactly.
We're fucking done.
Exactly, which is why a lot of people have a lot of faith in them, which is kind of fair, right? Because that was kind of how they were with Vermintide 2 as well. So. But, like, if you were to ask me right now, what is a better game, Vermintide 2 or Dark Tide?
Yeah, well, people are saying that.
2,
people are saying that.
I don't even think that's debatable. Like, Vermintide 2 is literally a better game.
Yeah, but it's also had 10 years of development under its belt. Like, what? It's got all the bells and whistles, like, finished, and they've moved on. Of course, it's done and better,
Well, it hasn't had 10 years of development. That's definitely an exaggeration, but...
well, they got all the things that they wanted to get in the game in. Well, now they're done with it.
Think about it this way, right? So, I don't know if I made this point already, but when Vermintide 2 released, it had 15 classes in it. Okay, Dark Tide had 4. 4 classes to 15.
That's talking in circles. Like, this was already brought up and Justin already answered it.
I don't recall bringing this up, but if I did, I apologize. But I mean that's a big difference, right? So
yeah, I guess I just appreciate the core mechanics being better, because it's like you could have a game that's like, oh, I've got 20 classes, but it's a bad game. It's like, not that it's a bad game, but like what I value is just the mechanics of the game.
Well, and I don't think. Well, Fresh Start doesn't have a bad reputation of just having an incomplete game. Like they keep adding to it. If it was like EA or one of the more malicious types, of course, bad faith.
I don't know. Oh, you're
But
talking earlier.
I'm fine that they release the game a bit earlier, so we can actually play and give critique. They'll hopefully they'll keep the promise.
I mean, I always wish that people released it solid. Like, no, I'm not saying like. I appreciate that they
Well,
fucked up.
yeah, but there's a lot of gaming companies that just release a game that's not finished and they never
and then they just
improve
dish
on
it.
it.
Yeah.
Whereas like Fat Shark, they clearly have two IPs that are beloved and they seem to be more caring about the community.
I would say I don't think Dark Tide's finished at all. I mean, it crashes like every
Oh, yeah.
hour. So
No.
Yeah,
It's pretty much still beta.
yeah.
But again,
yeah, but you got a glimpse of it, and then, like once it gets more polished, you can always come back.
I think you guys pinged me to go way over to the left to build solar panels. So
no, I was pinging there, and Troy was there. I think. Yeah.
To
Cover the
I'm making
walls.
bugs.
Yeah.
You gotta be making here. I'm gonna ping something for you, which is oh, never mind.
I see this like really sad train running through my solar panel farm that Troy built.
I can't believe he's done this.
God,
Yeah.
Can you explain to me why it's so important to have a square? I don't even understand
It's
why
not.
it's important.
I'm trolling, man. It doesn't matter.
Troy, do you understand beauty?
Yeah. Troy, obviously.
I will say this. Like, I had like set up the blueprints and everything, and then like you just fucking built train tracks right through it. Like, it was so.
He remembers this from months ago. He's been thinking about it.
I remember it. He was so offended.
I was
we were
offended.
fighting back and
That's
forth
rude,
about,
bro.
like, I gotta build this train. And you were like, I gotta build these solar panels. I'm like, wait, what? And you were like, wait, what?
Whoa. Hey,
Try,
that's
try.
there's contamination on the coal line for some reason.
I can't. Have you ever had this? Have you had this experience, Troy? Where you build blueprints.
Troy's one of the
Someone
messiest
just
builders.
Like shits all over it. Yeah.
Troy don't care at all about symmetry. He's just like, get that shit down and build.
I agree with Zapina that beauty is a distraction.
Wow. So you would not call this a beautiful game?
There's some truth to that, though. That's not completely wrong. That's actually okay.
Sounds like soda's coming from experience.
Maybe if you're more beautiful.
Oh, no.
Here's the thing. My solar panels supersede the beautiness Okay. Anyway, whatever. Okay, it's fine. Fuck your track. I don't remember it. I literally. Can someone ping? Where do you guys want your solar panels to go? I don't remember.
Somewhere not near our base. Yeah, there.
Okay, I was close. All right.
Glad we're playing Factorio again.
I vaguely remembered it was somewhere over here. This game's like way better than Dark Tide. Like, can we all agree on that?
For sure.
Okay, for sure.
Yeah, there's coal in here. Like everywhere. This is actually kind of insane. I mean copper. Oh my god. What's this? I don't want to deal with it. I'm just... Well, it seems like our steel is flowing.
The trains actually were what was sucking up.
Oh.
The trains are just backlogged.
Oh.
I mean, I'm sure we'll probably need to expand more still, but...
Dude, we got a big factory.
Alright, now I'm setting up the robot network so I can request stuff.
I think if the Emperor were here, he'd be proud.
Is that a Dark Tide joke?
Warhammer in general.
Yeah, if I was the Emperor, I would. Soda, you wouldn't be here.
Oh, okay.
Blasphemy.
Oh my god.
This heresy.
Wait,
It's the
okay.
heresy.
I would like to ask, like, this is a serious question. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I really hope this isn't inappropriate, but
Yes.
there was it's okay. This was at some point in the past. Okay,
Yeah.
I was, in the Discord, and someone mentioned that there was an argument between Troy and Ryan. Did that actually take place, or was that like just someone exaggerating or joking with me?
I mean, we argue all the time, but that's just kind of our. There's been arguments
okay.
between me and Troy
See,
and me and Hotch.
This is why. Like, here's the thing. This is why you guys are so great, because, like, this is my family growing up. Like, we just fucking argue, and you guys just argue, and so it's like, it's great. It's a perfect match. I can just argue with you guys, and everything's fine.
Yeah, I mean, it's never like fun at the time, but I appreciate that it's like we're able to hammer things out and get on the other side instead of just kind of like.
Yeah.
Just
So
doing about it too
basically,
much.
like,
Why is there copper? Why is it?
Nazi, you'll be accepted.
As long as you're not a Nazi, you'll be able to hang out.
Oh, it sounds like oh fuck.
Shit.
Oh damn.
Why is there copper in our coal line?
Oh, what's this?
I fixed it.
You fixed it?
I got an issue.
But there-
guys.
I'm not.
I mean this as genuine as I possibly can. I have obviously played online games for a long time. You guys are the most genuine, like, cool people I've ever played games with.
I've appreciated your hangouts as well.
Literally, like, ever. Okay. Now, here's the thing: we probably will never go beyond this, but, like, I don't care. It's great. Okay, I'm fine with it. But you guys are great. So
I appreciate you too, Soda.
Yes.
whatever you take from that, it's great.
Why? I'm just confused by these bots. I put some trash cans down, and now there's thousands of bots. Oh, okay. I'm just dumb. Don't listen to me.
I knew it.
Yeah, except for Hocho. Hocho's a piece of shit, right? Like, no, I'm just kidding.
That sucks ass. You want to play it? You want to play it?
I'm just kidding. I promise I was a joke. Okay.
Sorry, I'm kidding.
Oh, dude, who deconstructed all of Soda's solar panels?
Not funny. Okay, did you actually do that, or is that a joke?
Oh my god. It's all over.
I really wouldn't be surprised if, like, someone just decided to deconstruct half the shit that was in there. Yeah.
I didn't like it.
I didn't like it.
Oh, we're low on electricity.
Yeah, I'm trying to build solar panels. People are
Okay.
deconstructing
No,
my shit.
I get you.
Okay?
I was making sure that someone's on it. Or just, recalibrating our game of what the shit we're doing.
Solar panel issues.
Dude, I love bots. Go. Inspector Gadget. It's crazy how I feel like I make references to, or everyone does, to like go Inspector Gadget. I don't think I've ever seen an Inspector Gadget on TV once in my entire life.
It's so old. No,
Yeah.
at this point, right?
Sure. But like, people can use that forever still. It's like go Inspector Gadget. People still say that shit. They don't even know what it means because they've never seen the show. What they're like. I don't know.
That's true. I feel like that's becoming less and less because, like, it used to be that everyone would watch the same shows, and now it's like, everyone's got, it's just a million shows. Everyone's watching their own. So I don't I think that things like that don't exist anymore. Like, going forward, there's not going to be a new version of that.
This coal pollution is ruinous.
Yeah, I
Are we
just
mindful?
fixed where the copper was going, and then I just walked away because I was like, "This is atrocious." I can hope someone else fixes it. We'll see. Are you fixing it?
I did.
Perfect. Good job.
I planned.
Exactly. Exactly.
Dude, where's the freaking
Where's what?
walls at? I'm looking for a stone. Like, I've been looking for the last 2 minutes. Do we really just have this little tiny stone thing right there? Like, that's it?
I think I think we talked about something like that before and trying to like look for stuff, but I don't.
We're gonna run out of walls at some point. Like,
Yeah.
I guess not at the moment, but at some point.
Stone being an afterthought sounds pretty reasonable. Yeah. Wait, can I ask? Okay, I'm curious. What
What is happening?
are you mocking me, Troy? Or not? Sorry, are you mocking me?
Yeah, Troy is mocking.
Ocho?
No,
Are you mocking me,
that was
Ocho?
a joke. Yeah. So what's happening?
Uh,
What do your parents do? Like, what are
What do my parents
Troy?
do?
Troy? No, not your parents. Noggin.
My mom currently works for a news station, but she does like graphics that you would see on like the bottom. We call them bottom third graphics because they're like the, you know, if Oprah's got a guest on, it'll be like it's Tom Cruise on the Oprah show, and you'll see Tom Cruise, like the name or whatever. You know, does that make sense? Or like sports teams, like when they're like it's Joe that got the touchdown, you know, those kind of graphics. So she does that. My dad works at Ace Hardware and lives with his mom, my grandma.
I think he has. Never mind.
He also worked at Oprah until he quit that job.
Okay.
Dude, I suspect he has lead poisoning. Like, you guys hear about that?
No, I didn't hear about that.
I came up with that idea a while ago,
With me?
because he was a painter during the lead
Yeah,
crisis.
I believe it. I believe you, Troy.
Maybe.
Like he was right at that moment in time where they just put shitloads of lead into paint, and he was a painter. Like, yeah, I don't know.
If you've ever talked to people who had lead poisoning,
So
it would
what?
be
I mean,
very
what got you guys interested in like computers and technology then?
Well, we always had computers around. Like I grew up with like one of the first Macs, like the green screen Macs, playing like Load Runner. So, one second, I'm trying to figure out my robots. So I don't know. I guess it's always kind of been there. I think our uncle actually kind of was the one that was like always buying us
Uncle
computers. Yeah, so he'd be the one that came by because he had like somehow got like leftover computers, and so he'd come just drop off like a computer for us, and so we'd be playing like Doom or some shit. Like, you know, we were playing multiplayer StarCraft growing up. Like,
Yeah, that's what I got started on.
I need help.
Yep.
Somebody bring walls.
Coming down.
I don't know
Where are the walls?
Dude, they're like over somewhere around there.
Okay.
How did you get into computers?
Me?
Yeah, sure.
Well, I think my story is kind of funny because my dad was a highly successful software engineer
Mm-hmm.
and sort of, you know, encouraged me to go into this field. And
Yeah.
the whole time after high school, I was like, yeah, fuck you. Like, I'm going to do whatever I want. Like, you're a piece of shit, whatever. And then I got into college and, my first major was accounting.
Oh, God.
And I wanted to kill myself in accounting 101. It was the most boring thing I've ever done in my life.
Yep.
Most suicidal profession that there is.
Oh, it's just terrible, right? Like you just.
You're like, Dad, I want to do anything. I'm going to do what I want, and it's accounting. is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, I appreciate you guys understand how bad it was, but I took CIS 101, which is just, basic computer class. I was like, oh, wow, this is actually kind of cool. So, like, despite the fact that I wanted to, like, stick my parents a middle finger, I actually, got interested in this field and sort of pursued that. So
That's
that's
cool.
kind of my
I'm
my
just
story.
surprised that your rebellion was to be an accountant. You're like,
That's
like,
fine.
you're like, fuck you, I'm
All the
going to be an
rebellion.
accountant.
That's fair. There's probably a more rebellious field to go into. Like I could have been like a tattoo artist or something. Well, there was another. So my parents were very like literal about everything. So, and here's the thing: like anytime they wanted to tell me something, they would like have a meeting with me. It was very like, sort of business professional type of thing. So at one point when I was in high school, they had a meeting with me, and they were like, "Hey, here's the thing, James," because my real name's James. They were like,
Why is it James?
You're gonna fail college because you're not trying in high school, and like those habits will transfer to college, right?" And so they just told me that they straight up told me I was gonna fail in college because I wasn't trying in high school, and I was like, in my mind, I was like, fuck you. So my whole motivation to be successful in college was just to kind of stick a middle finger to my parents.
And they're like,
literally,
all is intended.
Yeah, and it worked out. Like I got a I had a 3.9 GPA in college, and I did stick a middle finger to my parents. And it was very satisfying, but yeah, that's my parents. They're just very like vocal about their opinions, and even if they're wrong, So.
Well, it did work.
Fuck you.
Right?
That doesn't mean it's right, okay?
Yeah, but like, if you actually like think deeply in the philosophy of that, like, would it not have
if you had a child, would you tell them that they're just gonna fail in college because they didn't, they had bad like study habits or whatever? Like that's a terrible thing to say.
Yeah,
right.
It is terrible, but like,
just because
people...
I had the right like way to interpret that does not mean it's correct for all.
Okay, let's have an argument about it. Let's go.
No, we don't have to. We don't have to argue. No, it's fine. But anyway, it worked for me. I guess I was just like.
Some people need that motivation. Like, not everyone, but like some people use that as fuel. Like some bodybuilders.
Yeah, I was that way.
Body image, and then they become Mr. Olympia. Like they like have that burning passion from something from their childhood, usually trauma or something, but that can sometimes make people great, but also break some people down. Like I don't know the data behind that, but I'm sure it'd be interesting to see. Maybe it's like for every 10 great people, there's like 90 that fucking get depressed and get suicidal. Like I don't know.
To quote Warhammer 40k, the same hammer that forges steel breaks glass. That's the wisdom of Warhammer 40k. I don't know.
Troy spent an hour reading tooltips.
Like, oh yeah, and the Troy thing with the lead. I remember talking to you about the
opinion. That's Warhammer 40k. I don't know.
Do you remember when we talked about serial killers and lead poisoning, right? And how it kind of lined up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's how I remember talking to Troy about serial killers and lead poisoning and how it actually like really fucks with.
But anyway, just a little bit of context. In my family, if there was ever a disagreement, like we would all sit down, like in a room, and everyone would get a chance to speak. It was like a professional debate type of thing. So, like.
That's great. I wish my parents were like that. Amazing.
Yeah. No. That's the thing. Like, it actually. Like I've learned, kind of speaking to people throughout life nowadays that like that's very uncommon. At the same time, it's kind of been not necessarily a bad thing in the working field because, kind of learning how to say things in a professional manner to disagree with people that are retarded or idiots, right? I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Yeah.
It's like a good skill, and I learned that when I was growing up, you know, because that's just how my family was like built. So, um, but also like everyone kind of getting a chance to speak and like everyone disagreeing with each other and being pissed off and then kind of moving on. Like that's like very common in my family. So like, yeah, obviously, if I'm talking to you guys and like we get into an argument or whatever, that's like literally how my family was. And you guys kind of seem like you're the same way, which is why, like I said, it's very like it's a good fit. So I know Hocho, we got into a big argument in the past, but trust me,
So we passed the
that's what,
interview, the soda interview.
yeah. No, trust me, man. Like that's like normal for me, and it's totally fine. I don't judge you at all. It's all good, man. So
My parents, that would not fly. It's like,
it'd be
this is
blasphemy.
our
Yeah.
house. This is my rule. You're gonna pay us. You know, it's like that's just.
And that's the common thing I've heard like from other people. So yeah, pretty
Yeah,
sad.
we had a similar upbringing. Like honestly, my childhood was great. It was perfectly fine. Like it was kind of like one of those things where at the time I didn't realize things were kind of weird until like I grew up and I was like, oh yeah, I guess my dad didn't really have a job. Yeah, okay. Somehow he had a house. I don't know how that worked out. You know, it's just like, but like at the time it was fine. You know,
That is kind of funny.
like I think I learned a lot of good skills. You know, like we would also talk like that, and then trying to yeah, it wasn't just like because this is what I fucking said. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
So, what were the arguments that you would have with your parents that were like, or like people
Me?
would debate about that people would like sit around the round table? Like was it
Me?
anything, like,
Oh
crazy,
God.
or?
So, oh Jesus Christ. Okay, you really want to get into that?
I'm just curious to see like what you guys talked about and argued because like I could
Well,
make a list off
well,
of things with my
okay.
parents and like how
So,
they went about things.
let me put it this way. So until I was in 8th grade, I was homeschooled.
Oh God.
Yeah, I was homeschooled till fourth.
Oh
Yeah.
jeez, one of those
Yeah, yeah.
kids.
Yeah, well, yeah, no, of course you say that, and that's perfectly fine. But the thing is that because I was homeschooled, my dad, again, he was a my dad's a fucking genius. Like he's a highly successful software engineer, and has always been that way throughout his life. Makes shitloads of money. My mom,
Okay, so
my
why,
mom
why
is
is he a
fucking
genius?
why is he a genius?
Yeah.
I can't really describe that, but I will say this: my mom is fucking crazy, and probably has the closest the closest thing I can think of is paranoid schizophrenia. She's
Okay.
kind of fucking crazy, and the only reason she is capable of surviving is because my dad, makes a lot of money, right?
Yeah.
And I was homeschooled, so like my dad was at work all day, and my mom was fucking crazy. And also in my family, I was the most logical person in my family as a kid growing up.
Okay.
I didn't get along with my mom at all, right? So my mom hated me. Like my mom, would not want to punish me. Like so basically, essentially, when I was growing up, I was grounded or punished almost
Yeah.
nonstop.
Oh my god.
I was kind of like sort of very stubborn. Listen, I was an asshole. Like I'll put it to you this way. My mom would think that I did something wrong and she'd ground me, and she would like want to talk to me and like, hey James, what'd you do wrong? And I'd be like, I didn't do anything wrong. Like fuck you, pretty much, right? And then she'd be like, okay, go to your room, you're grounded. And I was a stubborn asshole, and so I'd just go to my room and I'd be grounded. But anyway, like I would have meetings with my dad when he got home from work, and we'd kind of discuss, what happened, what transpired. It was sort of like my mom's word against me. And when I was younger, my dad would sort of like always defer to my mom's perspective. But as I got older and I got better at like portraying my perspective and sort of giving better arguments, my dad would actually like sort of listen to what I had to say and like not punish me. And so even though my mom wanted to punch me all the time, like it didn't work out for her. So like it was kind of great for me. So I literally had to survive by doing that, because when I was literally like when I was younger, I was grounded 24/7. I was punished all the time. You have no idea. It was
sucks.
absolutely awful. Yeah. And the thing was, my older brother was never punished because he was my mom's favorite. So like, we could be together doing some stupid shit, and the next day I'm grounded for like a week, and he's not, you know, because he's just the best, and I'm just a piece of shit. So it was I don't want any sympathy from you guys or anything. I'm just sharing with you how my childhood.
Shit.
No, I don't want to, but like it made me who I am as a person today, yeah, it was fun sort of going to bat with my mom against my dad, you know, sort of portraying my arguments against my mom, basically, with my dad as the sort of the verdict, right? Like, this sort of whole experience I'm describing to you guys helped me deal with conflict, like, and also, like, be comfortable with, portraying my feelings, even in a I don't know. Anyway, hopefully that's enough information.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. And yeah, dude, I mean, it probably is a good thing that your dad was listening to you. Like, I don't even think you like manipulated him or anything. Like, if you're getting grounded constantly, like that's just, you know, you got to set boundaries and you have to follow through with those boundaries. But like, you just have too many boundaries. Like that's not great. Like, and people are like, oh, we definitely have to have this boundary. You definitely have to have that boundary. Like, yeah, you really don't. You know, like, you really don't. You don't need that many fucking boundaries. You know, like.
By boundaries, you mean limitations or like rules? Or...
Stuff that's like, if you don't do this, you get this punishment.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, I'll put it to you. Listen, I know you guys think that I'm pretty awesome. Okay, you probably don't think I'm pretty awesome, but whatever. Like, in my family, Jesus Christ. Okay, in my family, I was the least favorite. Like, so, I have an older sister and an older brother. Okay, my older brother was my mom's favorite. My older sister was my dad's favorite, and my parents played huge. Like, I don't know about you guys, right? Maybe maybe
not too many favorites.
Yeah, in my family,
there
was huge favorites, bro. In my family, it was
That's
like
what you think.
It was like, you know, my sister got all the goods, all the gifts, all the love. My brother, all the praise, whatever. I was the piece of shit, garbage, fucking
the piece of shit, garbage accountant.
Yeah, and here's the thing. Here's the thing. I use that as motivation to like. To basically show them that I was the best, and if you were to compare me to them right now, I'm the most successful, and I still will show a middle finger to my parents and be like, fuck you, I'm the best, fuck you, right?
Yeah, I mean, have they seen your Factorio factories?
Yeah.
God, you don't even like my Factorio factories now. Like, anyway,
you gotta use the bots to correct the solar panels.
God.
But it's like with that with adversity, you know, usually if you're able to overcome that, you know, they usually build someone's character. Like the fact that they weren't able to have as much adversity, it's a lot harder for them to build.
I'm sure, like, this. What the fuck am I doing with my life? I'm just sharing like random shit with online people, right? Like, what the fuck?
It's the best people to share it to, because it's not we're gonna go find you and talk to your dad about it.
Okay, I found your dad.
You guys are pretty cool though, so I don't know.
Like, was it? I'm sure you've thought of it. Was it possible that they didn't intend to have another child and then they had you, and then they're like, "Well, fuck, we got pregnant by accident."
Oh no, yeah, no, that definitely happened, yeah.
because that happens a lot when there's like one child that is usually the youngest, or like, oh crap,
Like,
a little bit of neglect.
Hocho,
Yeah,
like, here's the thing. I've shared a lot in the past, like, 15 minutes, let's say, right?
yeah.
You could write a book about my childhood and how fucked
Um,
up it was. Like, literally. It is, like, I haven't even scratched the surface of how fucked up my childhood was. And I don't even want to get into it because it's probably inappropriate for just random people, right? On the internet.
oh well, like I'm sure like there's a lot
It's fucking
that
insane. The shit I
yeah.
had to deal with when I was a kid.
What's
Like,
your
you have
ethnicity?
no idea.
What culture or like what race
Um,
is your
it doesn't,
family?
it's not relevant to what I was talking about, but
Yeah, no, but I'm just curious so I can get more context.
I am Caucasian,
Okay, sure.
white, male.
Because a lot of what you said, like, I'm pretty sure we've had similar backgrounds in terms
Oh,
of
really?
family. Yeah, but that's coming from like me. I'm like Korean, and our parents are pretty strict, and it's like the firstborn child like gets everything, and I was not, right? So there was a lot of favoritism, and it was very obvious, to where my brother would like back me up, but my parents don't care.
Yeah.
So it's like that stuff I understand, in terms of favoritism, and that's actually what kind of fueled me to go back to school and finish, go
Right.
into a
I
better
think that's
field.
the right approach. Is like I mean, what else are you supposed to do, right?
Yeah,
You know, the best way to approach it is use as motivation to
it's like,
push yourself forward and succeed.
yeah, my parents were like, oh, you're not gonna get good grades when spend your own money, go to college, waste, and I got all A's, and I did pretty well. Um, but that being said, like for me, the thing that was annoying for me is like coming from an Asian background, my brother was like the poster child, He had like all A's, like perfect grades, AP classes. Uh he was like gonna graduate math major at U of I in 2 years, you know. And then the funny thing was like it all came crumbling down when he like failed for like the first time in his life because he was taking too many 400, 500 level classes in a semester. And then, as bad as that sounds, but I'm still pretty amicable with my brother.
Doesn't sound that bad at all.
But yeah, that like idea of him being like perfect like crumbled when he didn't do too well in school. And our satisfaction is pretty bad.
Dude, I've been doing nothing but building fucking solar panels, man. Okay,
We should build some nukes.
trying. Yeah, we need,
Do we?
need
Oh,
nuclear power or
okay.
something.
Do we have nuke power? We don't even have uranium, do we? Don't.
But I will say the nice thing that you got was your dad listened to you. Like my dad would all you do was like work 24/7.
Absolutely, yeah.
And he would come
No,
home and be like, "Nope, your mom's right. You just have to listen to your mom because it's like it's like as conservative Korean as you can get. Like you, nothing you say will ever be right, even if it makes absolutely no sense."
yeah, no, that's definitely not an issue. I like my dad was not the type of person to ever show like love or affection towards you, but at the same time, he was the most logical. Like, okay, that's why he was such a good software engineer, right? Like, he didn't fucking care about emotion at all. It was all about your points, and he would evaluate it, and yeah. So if I was able to make a good argument, he would listen to it. So. And as I grew up, I found that my mom made terrible arguments, and I was able to get out of a lot of bullshit punishments. But when I was younger, I was always punished. So, yeah.
Yeah, dude. I mean, like, I'm sure it was friggin' great when like you actually were able to like articulate you know what what was actually happening, and like I feel like the truth is so important. Like some people are like, oh, like you can sacrifice being true as long as you're being moral, and I just like, oh,
I don't think that was either.
What's that?
Yeah.
I would say that one wasn't either, though.
That wasn't what?
Moral
Either.
or logical. It was neither moral or
Oh.
logical.
Oh,
Just
yeah,
like,
yeah. I'm just saying I like value truth a lot. I feel like some people value truth less than others, and I just feel like
Yeah.
it's like one of the most important virtues out there, like more than being moral. Like if you had to decide between being moral or truthful,
I think
I
what
would
you're
take
saying is like,
being truthful because they're actually one and the same.
yeah, I definitely agree with what you're saying. I think what you're saying is like just being able to articulate, your sort of opinion about things clearly, right?
No, it's just different ways of living.
Yeah, I mean that's one of the ways to suss out truth is to talk about it with other people. Like a lot of times, like when you discover something that's true, it's because you spoke about it with other people and articulated it and had words for it. And
Yeah.
like there was a study about they were trying to figure out like, oh, how do we tell if people are like emotionally mature or whatever, or how do we tell if people can I forget exactly what they were testing, but the study that they did, which apparently they still use today, is
You
they
are
asked the person to write down a number of descriptors. So you ask the person like, hey, like describe this person in as many words as you can in 5 minutes or whatever. And the people who were able to, the people with the most words, like that's literally it. The people who could think of the most words to describe this person were deemed, uh, more emotionally intelligent or more communicatively intelligent. And like that's the metric that they use is literally just how you can articulate. Like it's just your ability to articulate is so closely correlated with your
Yeah.
actual knowledge.
I agree with that, yeah, for sure.
we need Cole instead.
can you articulate that more?
It did take me a couple more words than that was
I
necessary.
added more team turbines, and I found there was.
um,
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with everything you just said.
I was going to say something about what we needed in Factorio. I forgot. We need red cards. We need
way more Cole.
We need more red cards.
Do we? Is this train unloading coal? It really doesn't seem like it. Do we have a train in here yet or no?
We have a coal off train. It's not unloading. We can set it to unload.
Yeah,
but it's where we want it.
We need it in our main base.
To the
steam turbines.
Okay,
We
I'll
have
work on
no coal at all.
Yeah, I'll work on that.
So I have a question.
Yeah.
Troy, are you and Justin like the cool kids in your family?
We're all cool kids in our family.
look at the Discord. Cool kids only.
Yeah.
And here,
Yeah.
We're
what was
all
that telling
here.
you?
No, like I don't know.
I actually don't understand what you mean by that question, but yeah.
But what I mean by that question is like,
sometimes you have a uncool sibling, right?
are you like in your family? Are you perceived because you guys are like pretty into gaming and all that? Are you perceived as an outcast, made fun of, etc., or are you sort of
A football player.
perceived as cool and awesome?
Well, I did
etc.,
mention
right?
earlier that we played StarCraft multiplayer as a family, right? Does that give a little hint?
So yeah, so you guys are essentially pretty cool in your family.
I mean,
Pretty cool.
I would honestly say that like or I don't know. I mean, I have differing opinions about this than other people, but I think that the family that we have is like really loving. Like our sister thinks that our family is like hostile, but I think it's very loving, and I don't really
Hostile.
understand. Yeah, she has
Putting
this.
words into her mouth, Troy.
No, she'll tell you herself. She'll be like, "Yeah, our family isn't forgiving, isn't nice, and all the nice things they do are fake." And she'll tell you these things straight to your face. But
I think you're talking about our dad's side, not like I think us as like a family sibling unit. She wouldn't say that about that.
Yeah, I mean, what I gather from what has been said so far is that you guys are the cool kids in your family. Yeah.
well, he's talking about cool kids, as in like, I think what you're referring to is like people who talk about us, right? So that would be people outside of our immediate family. So I think you're referring to the people who might gossip about us, right? That's what you're saying?
Sort of. Just the general. Okay. Sorry, you have something to say?
I don't know. Rachel's played Factorio with us. Ryan hasn't played Factorio, but we played shit tons of games. Like, as far as people that like sit in Discord like we are now, like all my siblings do that. Yeah.
But he's saying, are we cool kids? And I'm interpreting that to mean like when people gossip about us, do they say good things? Is that accurate? Like,
I mean,
I thought you were just talking about like, would your other siblings kind of hang out like we're doing now?
Oh, would people hang out? Yeah, dude. People would hang out with us. They play
freaking D&D with the family. Like, what?
Yeah. Well, it's teetering on the edge. I gotta set that up again, but we got a Pathfinder group for the family.
yeah. Okay, so you guys are pretty cool in your family. Yeah. All right. Yeah, that was actually amazing. Okay.
Like I'll say this, like for my family, like my dad, my mom thinks like I'm an idiot and I'm gonna fail, and it's like the funny thing is like all my friends think I'm gonna do well, so that's kind of the place I'm in.
Does Factorio have a bug? I'm crashing.
No, it would never have a bug. Come on, what are you talking about?
Oh, we're in, we're back. It was probably Hotch's computer just having to catch up.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure what happened there is when we were playing Darktide, Nurgle infected our computers, and then
it was a Darktide bug.
Spreading to Factorio.
Yes. So I think we have enough steel. Yes. How's the goal looking? No.
Bringing it down.
Nurgle's gifts are not exactly something you can refuse.
Sure, it sounds like you had a pretty shitty childhood as well.
Me?
Pocho.
Oh yeah, that's just how it is.
That's the worst, yeah.
Because they like compare me to like every Asian imaginable. All of them just happen to be fucking doctors and like engineers and lawyers and all that shit. And it's like, I didn't want to do that. I wanted to be like a professional gamer, but obviously the stigma to that is pretty bad. Now it's a little more accepted, but it's kind of too late at that point.
Right.
But it's nice having like friends who believe in me. So.
Yeah.
It's like if I talk to any of my friends, they're like, dude, like they would expect me to do better things with my life, And then if I talk to my parents are like, oh no, he's stupid, he's an idiot. It's like the thing is to do well in a game, like I believe you need to have some sort of skill to understand the game and all the strategies in it to actually be successful, especially in a game where you're competing against other people. And to be in a top player in a lot of games, you actually need to have a lot of skills that not everyone possesses. But that's like my argument for
I totally believe
professional gamers.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's like definitely true, especially Factorio of all games, right?
Yeah, of
I mean,
course.
Factorio of any other game, you know. You could spend hundreds and hundreds of hours on Factorio, like trying to optimize shit, right?
Yeah.
Definitely, like with the love people give sports, it's just like there's probably no difference. Like, if you're gonna respect someone for just having skill on like one specific like
Yeah.
I don't know, like show is not the right word, but like
But I would say it's even
watchable thing, yeah, like no more like why are they allowing themselves to respect those people and not professional gamers,
especially in games when there's more players involved. Like, you look at basketball, there's a lot of people that play, but it doesn't even come close to the amount of people that play League of Legends or CS:GO. The concurrent amount of players that are constantly grinding is so high. The competition is like pretty fierce in the way of they can literally be playing and grinding 24/7. Whereas football, like, most people aren't going to be playing football at midnight. They're mostly going to be playing usually in normal times of the day. If they get more serious, sure. But you have people at such young ages playing at insane hours, grinding out the game, and to be like a top player in a game like, let's say, CS:GO, League, Dota, you're trying to compete versus more than 1 million players easily. And I would say that's a lot harder than a lot of other sports. And a lot of sports is really, it's very gatekeeping. You need to have money. Like, if you want to be good at hockey, if you want to be good in golf, if you want to be good at snowboarding, skiing, like, that's fucking gatekeeped by money. That's why, like, basketball isn't gatekeeped by money. And that's why a lot of people from poor neighborhoods, go into basketball, because you don't really need to have that much money to go into it.
That's a good point, dude. Especially with golf, dude. I
sure,
But the thing with basketball is, like, you have to be tall to do basketball. You need the genetics. Same hockey. You have to be born a certain year. So it's like, for me, I'm kind of short. So it's like, it kind of sucks that it's gatekeeped by people who are tall. And there's a lot of things that I wish, like, people had taught me with data. Like, I wouldn't have, tried to learn basketball or all these other sports if I knew all that beforehand. But for games, like, almost anyone can get good at it,
Yeah, and more like less of like, oh, is sports better or not, but like people have somehow gotten into this sense of like, if you're a professional athlete and doing well, they're like, wow, like what an impressive individual. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, why is it more impressive? Or like, why is it not equally impressive? I guess is a better way to put it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely true that, like, the sport you play is somewhat dictated by the income that your parents has, and like basketball is a pretty poor sport because, like, what do you need to play basketball, right? You need a basketball.
You just go to the park. When you go to the ghettos, they have so
right.
many basketball courts, and it's always filled.
Exactly, and compare that to like baseball or like hockey. All the equipment you need, it's very expensive. So yeah, definitely true.
And same with soccer too. Like, when you look at all the third world countries in Europe or other like in Africa, like, you literally don't need a lot to play soccer.
Yep.
All right, so we need more red cards. Do we want to build them in the base here, or do we want to offload?
What do we need for red cards?
We need green cards, which we're bringing in on the train. We need plastic, which we could probably move elsewhere.
Well, the red card factory is, you just expand it, right?
Yeah. It's well, it's like we're building. Let's see, hold on.
It's already like topped out, I guess.
Like, yeah. I mean, like, we're building the green cards over here. Like, we could also build just the red cards.
Well, we're building it over. Oh yeah, you pinged it. Yeah.
Yeah. So like, red cards over there. Bringing them in on this train is nice because you can always expand elsewhere and bring them in on the train.
We need plastic though, right?
Plastic. Well, we brought the oil over. Like, plastic's actually easier to make over here because the oil's over there.
And then we need copper then? Yeah, we have
Which is
copper.
over there, yeah.
Yeah.
So I think we can start making a red card factory over there.
At some point, we gotta get some purple potions.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get these blues actually flowing, which we're back and flowing again, and we got a basic robot network up, so I'll probably go back to optimizing the science. I was more just calling out the red card factory because I think you guys can probably do that while I'm doing other stuff.
Well, we could. I think just expanding this red card factory
You can do
because
that short term,
our train is 100% full, and all those boxes have max green cards. So it's like
our training system is very expandable in this game. We can
No.
definitely shove more resources on.
no, but I'm saying that all those boxes are full of green cards, so we just need to be able to use it. So we could totally just expand it if we have room. We have room to double it, right? Like right there.
Yeah,
So right above.
I'm not saying we can't do a little bit more over here. I'm just I can expand it once, but we need it like 4 times.
4 times.
I don't know. I mean, by the end of the game, yeah. I'm just thinking like longer term.
Yeah.
Like we might as well just start it now.
Yeah. Okay.
Because there's no like downside to just starting it now. I mean, I'll make some more red cards. For sure. But
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, we have room here anyways. So did you want to have a debate on CS:GO and StarCraft again? 'Cause that was pretty entertaining. Because I always like debating people.
It wasn't CS:GO versus StarCraft. I think it was CS:GO versus.
It was
Was it StarCraft? Really?
Yeah. It's like I think StarCraft pro players are more skilled.
Yeah, that
Or
was.
need to have more skills than
Yeah,
CS:GO
that was
players.
the.
So it was along the lines of that, right? So
Right. Yeah, that was the comment.
and for me, I thought it was more impressive to like be really good in StarCraft than CS:GO.
Right.
'Cause, like and for me, it was like whenever I see highlights of CS:GO, it's usually just like, oh my god, it's like 1v4, and then he just gets like a flick hit like 3-4 times, and they're just sitting in the corner or so, and he's like, oh, he's making a play, he's moving. It's like, I don't think that's harder to do than a fucking StarCraft guy clicking 300, 400, 8 actions per minute, like sweating their ass off for 30, 40 minutes straight, And that's just my view of it, I guess.
Right. Yeah. No.
And they need a best of 5, so it's like do that fucking, maybe like 3 to 5 times, and it's like fucking insane,
not
And
just
it's
like
it's
not
like
just
a
the
battle of endurance.
not just the endurance part of it, but like also just like there's a lot of strategies in playing, and like the when do you go for a cheese, when do you not, and when you try to like fake someone out.
Yeah.
And yeah.
And that's like
And the
the
scouting
planning.
bit of it.
Yeah. But anything can change, on a dime during that whole playthrough, and that was like, and the thing is, like the Korean players in Korea, like they're literally dominating Overwatch, they're dominating League of Legends, like a lot of the top games that they do play, because they don't really play Dota right now. But the games that they do play, a lot of people revere them as like, oh, they're really skilled because they go kind of crazy with the games. They all respect, Brood War StarCraft players at like the highest regard because they know that they probably wouldn't be able to do it because you kind of have to be insane and psychotic to play a game that doesn't really make money. Like they know that. They just do it because they just love the game and for how difficult it is. Kind of like Super Smash Bros. Melee in a way. Nintendo tried to shut down tournaments like a million times, and like it's
Why?
literally community driven
Why are they trying to shut down tournaments?
because they're using Nintendo IPs. They're modding the game a little bit,
They
and,
modded
and like
a little bit.
the only mod is
The whole
so
mod.
each game is the same. The funny thing, Super Smash Bros. Melee has 3 different versions, and like they have different different hitboxes for some characters. The damage values are a little different. So like they wanted to make it so you can just download the game and just play it, and it'll be like the tournament version, if that makes sense.
Gotcha. Yeah, it's crazy that they're trying to smash that because it's just like I feel like it gets a lot of publicity. Like you'd think they'd want to foster it, you know, or for, like especially if it's just for free. Like oh, you guys want to do it? Fine, you know, you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, Red Bull, I believe, and Twitch had like a $2 million plan to have a whole Smash circuit of Melee and Ultimate, and all they wanted was Nintendo's blessing, and this was when like Ultimate came out, and Nintendo literally said, "We'll think about it," and then no, none of Nintendo's money was involved, and they just said no, and because of that, it never happened. Like
that's pretty crazy, actually.
And Evo too, because you had to Smash Melee had to vote to get into Evo, and the voting was to donate to charity, and the Smash players donated the most out of all the other fighting game titles, and Nintendo said no, and then it took like a huge petition, and it was like all going to charity, and Nintendo was taking like the biggest PR hit. So they basically let it happen. It was that crazy. And now people are like, oh, like Smash players don't really make money. Like, yeah, like 99% of Smash players don't. But it's still crazy how many people still play. And like the tournament that just happened was for like 50K.
I think part of it is they were saying that they wanted to make it a family game. They were like, oh, you know, this game's supposed to be for casuals.
Yeah.
And they call it the fighting game community like they're crazy players that ruin the fun of. It's like, oh my god, you could say that about like any game, like this multiplayer. There's always going to be the people who try a little too hard for fun for everyone.
They called tryhards.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of understand that in the sense of like when I think of League, for example, I'm just like toxic cesspool, you know, like. But that's it kind of comes from the everyone trying so fucking hard and like, you know, you can't just like hop in a game because it's just like, why, you know, I can't believe you're trying to mimic that character or whatever. Yeah.
Don't you get off the meta? Are you even thinking of buying something that's not on the meta?
I'm in fucking silver. I'm doing whatever the fuck I want.
So send me a link to the meta page where you found that. Send me a link.
So I guess I kind of get where they're coming from, but it still seems like, yeah, but also just let us please. You know?
Just let them play the fucking game. Oh my god.
I mean, part of the competitiveness of League is just by the design of the game itself, like just having the ranked setup, you know, is what fosters that sort of competitive, maybe toxic side. So it's just like not having that in like the base game of Smash Bros, where you can like log on to Switch Online and like, you know, get into this ranked shit. Like that's, I think, what fosters it's like having the competitions on the side. Like the only people that are gonna want to watch that are the ones that are like actually interested in it. It's not gonna like bleed too much into the main community. So it's like, yeah, if I sit down on my couch with my buddies to play like Smash, like casual style, like I don't care that there's some like, you know, super hyper aggressive like League going on some like random YouTube channel.
You have other big companies willing to put millions of dollars for their game, and they don't even.
Not really going to manifest if they don't put competitive shit inside their game directly. You know?
I guess.
Yeah, that's true. Like, no one's gonna notice. Like,
the only people that are going to notice
are up and find these, you know.
Yeah. The only people you're playing with are the casuals on your couch. Like what?
Yeah, but like to stop it from happening and sending cease and desists is kind of crazy.
Yeah, and Nintendo weird like that in general. Just
Well,
Never.
I would say a lot of Japanese companies are like that, but I it's just ridiculous that they don't have to put a single ounce of money, and they're still not even willing. You know, I think that's kind of crazy. From like any other standpoint of a fighting game, that's like perfect. You know,
Why are we researching uranium? We don't even have a mine to mine anywhere close.
For real?
We do not.
oh my god,
Like we're constantly having electricity issues.
I'm expanding again.
We can. So there's one down here. We can think about maybe foraying too. Otherwise, we can maybe jetpack around and try to find a different one. But I think that's the closest one. Yeah, no.
Yeah,
It
this
might be
is
interesting
not
to
looking
like.
good.
It might be interesting to let's see. Is there any other resources you might be able to get on the way? Why don't we do an exploration down there and see what we can find? Because maybe we can find like a few resources that are worth blowing over to that side and get
Yeah.
Which area?
down to
Which
the right.
area?
The only
Down to the right.
uranium that we've seen at all is over there.
Oh my god, that's so far from me. I could look other places
Yeah, if you want to look, you know, see what
because we
see.
need stone, right? So like
Maybe
north.
stone.
I think we need stone.
Soda's still making his
Yeah,
solar panels.
I'm doing solar panels. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see our stone anywhere. Yeah, we only have 200K, so we probably need that patch up north.
Yeah.
So if we're going up that far north, I could try to go that way anyways to look for stuff.
Yeah, let's do
You're
an
talking about
exploration.
that stone up there? Yeah.
Because
So an
we
exploration
need that
phase.
stone.
See if there's uranium up north by that stone. See if there's other resources by the uranium.
Alright, I'm gonna go check out up north here.
I'm already there.
Up north or down south?
Wait, you're further. Oh my god. You scoundrel.
He's like, it's my idea.
Oh my god. Stealing my idea. God damn it.
Stole my company
Wow. This is
So my company name.
peninsula right here. Look at this.
Oh, well, I think they can travel across the north area. Maybe.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like.
Barely though. Like that's such a good choke point. And look at all these trees.
There is a lot of trees.
Dude.
Maybe
We
you
should
want to
conquer
see.
this. We should conquer this island right here. That's so many trees and just space and stuff.
Oh, this is also like.
Oh wow, yeah.
We could have a choke right there.
We would have to kill these guys, but that might be worth it. Really no more resources though, it's just kinda
Yeah.
sad.
Oh, there's iron here. 21 mil.
Oh my god, there's so many aliens out. Dude, there's so many aliens out here. I'm like scared.
So are you still there? I feel like I haven't heard your voice in an hour.
I am building solar panels.
Solar panels.
Just, you know, making sure you weren't like choking. Just like
I
can't
am
press the
not
Discord
dying.
button.
Yes, I am alive. Yeah.
It's alive. Dude, they found a big uranium patch, but it's real surrounded. And it's kind of far out.
5.1.
That's a little bit more actually easier to get than the other uranium patch. Just okay, there's two of them over there. I think we go where you are actually. That's pretty sick.
Right over there.
That dude, yeah, we're going over there. 2 iron
Alright.
mines, a copper mine, a uranium mine, and there's this nice little like mostly uninhabited little secret path up there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah, we need stone though.
Yeah, we
I'm
could
trying to
also
see if
probably
we
get
have
this
like.
stone up here.
Yeah,
I don't know if we
stone.
need stone.
We definitely do. Because
We
we can't
we're-
make purple potions until we have more stone.
Oh,
And the stone we have,
I get. Yeah,
we're gonna lose the walls, you know, soon if we don't get more. Um, yeah, I think we should go in expansion mode a little bit.
Um,
I guess I can set up some purple potion framework, but I'm not gonna turn anything on until we get some more of that shit.
well, there's a stone here, but that's so fucking far. Like, yeah, well, should we just go and claim everything over there? Is that the plan?
Yeah,
I think
by
so.
Troy or Troy's left side. I mean, I think first like we go for the uranium. We don't need the other stuff, but like we could see what we can
Yeah.
see what we can do. There's also iron up. Yeah, this looks it's pretty good up here. Yeah, there's 3 iron mines, 2 copper mines to the left. We got coal. We got a lot of resources to work with. If we can go over there.
Yeah, the amount of resources over there, I guess, makes it worth it to go ham. Because it's not just collecting one; it's like collecting.
If we need more oil, there's some up here, so we might end up going up there at some point.
I will say I'm kind of strapped on. I have to focus on defense. Like I can't I can't plan for an invasion just because I gotta spend all my time on defense at the moment.
Even with the robots.
Yeah. It's not even fully built out. Like the robots are not completely set up yet.
Yeah. Cool. I mean, hopefully it's workable once the robots are ready.
Yeah.
I mean, we can research a bit more stuff while we're waiting. Let's see, personal battery. Do you want nade damage, Troy?
Yeah, I am focusing on the grenade capsules at the moment.
Okay. You want refined flammables too?
Yeah. That would be cool.
The speed modules. Stick those in the oil.
Stick them in the oil. Oh my god.
Do you want lasers?
I don't think so. I guess.
Yeah, not until
Advanced lasers are better than lightning turrets.
Did you do some testing?
We're
Yeah,
not even
they
close to
do. Yeah, but I'm saying like that would be the next step after lasers. They can hit infinity targets because it just splashes, and it does more damage.
Yeah, it is AoE.
The lightning turrets have a limit of 10.
Yeah.
Oh, there's uranium here. You'll want. Okay, let's just.
Did you test it in like the playground area or?
No, I just did one of our playthroughs.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think we just go left. It looks like a nice, clean,
probably.
spread out. Because like, there's not many bugs up here, which is like super nice. All right, I'm gonna focus on science though. I'll stop looking at the map.
What, do we? Yeah, but do we need to focus on that? We should just explore.
No, just
explore. Like we gotta attack and.
not like expand it, as in like use more resources, but more just like set up the logistics for. So, you know, set up the end point, eventual end point.
I'm like, I know when you go further from the center, there's like more and more bugs. So I'm really concerned we could get out there and it's gonna be like just an insane amount of bases. So, yeah.
Probably.
Although I guess I just freshly looked up there and didn't look like there was much, but I don't know. I guess I'm concerned about that. I don't know.
Yeah, it's not. If it's you just went out there and searched and they're not there, then they're not there. You know, I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. it's actually rough. Like not being a science person, I got to come back and like pick up supplies. I'm like, what do you mean it's not all just in my inventory?
The sulfuric acid got cut somehow. Let's see. How did wood get on this?
What, bots? I don't know. That sounds weird.
Yeah, I think it's because I had just gotten bots, and so I was like trashing like thousands of things, and I put a box down, and before I put the filter on, some robots started going there with stuff,
Oh yeah.
and then yeah.
And then it was all over.
Oh my god, none of this coal has efficiency? Up or down?
Blasphemy.
Basically. So, Soto, what are your other friends like?
My other. What do you mean?
You don't have other friends? Just kidding.
And I just wait for you guys to be free.
I mean, my other friends don't play games this late, I guess.
Oh, okay. What do they play? Sea of Thieves, I'm assuming, or I guess like what are they like as in like IRL? Like how do you know them and what are they like? Are they I don't know how to explain. What are they like? Hmm.
I feel like I'm running out of space.
Base. Oh, a little more optimized.
Yeah, so typically, my IRL friends are not on the slate, so I will join this Discord after they get off
Oh, I
because you
see.
guys play so fucking late, right?
Yeah,
And then I just play with you guys, you know?
yeah. Like I'll say like there's like another group of friends that I hang out with occasionally IRL and yeah, try hangs out with them sometimes. Sometimes Justin. That's a little more rare, but it's like that group we play a lot more board games, I guess. Because they live pretty close. So, but it's still like the same sphere of people, kind of like the same a little bit. Oh my god.
I really don't get what you're trying to say, Harrison.
Yeah, I'm not really sure either.
Well, I was wondering if you had like different social circles of like your accounting buddies from college, or if they all play games, or if you had friends that don't play games at all. You know?
Okay. Um,
Oh, we have batteries. Nice.
You got batteries.
Well, oh. 4. Okay.
Hmm.
I'm gonna be scouting. Not scouting, I'm gonna be attacking very soon.
Yeah. I guess I don't really know how to respond to that. So Hocho, do we have a problem?
Wait, what problem? What do you mean?
You're asking me. Uh, I would describe them as somewhat disrespectful questions.
Oh, really? Oh, I didn't mean it to be disrespectful. Because I have friends that like don't play
I think they're
games.
pretty obviously disrespectful, to be honest. So
Well, I didn't mean. Well, the
what do you want to know? What
my
do you,
intention wasn't to be disrespectful.
okay, what do you want to know, Hocho?
Well, I was just curious to see if like you had friends that didn't really play the game at all, and like what they thought of you like playing games. Because I have friends that don't really play games, and they think very lowly of people who play games. You know, that was kind of it. Does that make sense? I guess
So uh,
because you didn't originally start,
can
and
you
you
can you rephrase the question? Sorry, repeat the question for me. What are you asking me again?
uh do. I guess I could rephrase it. Do you have friends that don't really play games at all? And like, what do they think?
Um, I have friends that play games, and I have friends that don't play games.
Oh, I see.
What else? What else would you like to know?
No, that was kind of it.
I just interpreted it as Hotch wanted to make small talk because we were just staring at the screens. But,
Yeah, I didn't mean to be disrespectful at all. I was just curious because like you originally seemed to not be like into computers at all, and then you like got into it. So I was wondering if you
I
had
thought
friends
I would say it
I
was
outside
a
of
thought
difficult
computers, you know?
question to answer because he's like, what context is this under?
Well,
And there
no one
could
say
be a
anything.
context.
I was just curious. Well, that's my context because
The most
I have
obvious,
friends
the
that
most obvious
yeah.
context is a
No,
bad context, and
I think,
so
yeah, I don't think that the context that you were. I'll let Troy. Whatever, Troy, if you want to describe it, you can. You
My
seem to
yeah,
understand.
like when you ask questions, you can't be extremely explicit like a lawyer, and so there's often just a lot of context to your questions, and if you don't specify the context, you're asking the other person to try to figure it out, and a lot of times bullies will do it in a way where the context is it's like a way to imply that you don't like somebody without saying it explicitly, and like I don't know.
Yeah,
Uh,
well, I guess I could have explained or elaborated a little more on
the,
that.
the most obvious context is bad, and not specifying it right
I
away
mean, Hojo,
is
I thought we were cool. Uh,
Well, that my intention wasn't to. Okay, I don't.
I'm missing something, but
Well, it's just like
it seemed pretty like
like
harmless little chitter chatter. I was just like,
I thought it was nothing. Like I didn't think it was that bad, but it's like because I have friends when I went to college, and not everyone played games, right? There were people who just studied all day. So like I still have like that kind of like friendship with them, and some of them like think lowly of people who play games. I think it's like a waste of time, like complete waste of time. But I'm like still like friends with them. But I
well, you
know their
didn't say
stance.
that context. You gotta
Yeah,
say
I
that.
didn't say that. Yeah, because I didn't think
so,
it was that crazy of a question. Because like it seemed like when you went into accounting, you didn't like know too much about computers. So it seemed like
he said
you
his
got into
dad
it a bit
works
late.
in programming.
Yeah, but but sort of wanted to go into accounting, and then he went into computers a bit later. That's what it sounded like. I could be wrong. And then you got fascinated with computers, um, a bit later. Um, and I was wondering if you had friends that didn't really play games, if you ever like talked to them and like got them to play games, because I have friends who didn't play games and I converted them to the PC Master Race, of course, because all they did was play console, right? Don, for example, all like back then, all he did was play on Xbox, and now he has a PC, and like other people that I
So,
know.
Hocho, like, your tone of voice and everything you're saying to me, I don't think you're being genuine right now. I'm just gonna be honest. Like, the way you're talking to me, it seems to me like you're. I mean, I don't really. I don't want to call you out.
That's not.
But
That's not. I wasn't trying to say that you had no friends. Like clearly, like oh my god, that's not.
that is literally the way I interpreted what you said. I don't know how
Yeah,
else I'm supposed to interpret what you said. You literally implied that. I mean, okay. How
that is not how I meant it to sound.
what are
I
you
apologize.
asking me exactly then? If that's not what you're trying to ask me, right? I typically have people that I play games with on Friday night, and
Yeah,
they go to bed on a reasonable hour, and then I join this fucking Discord at 2 in the morning, and you all are still on here, right? Because you all play games way too fucking late. You're also
yeah,
an hour behind me, to be
yeah.
honest,
No,
but
I know,
you know.
I know. We've like, because there are other friends that
All right.
I've
So
talked to that
what are
don't
you
play
asking
games
me,
at all.
Hocho?
I was just curious if there
Okay, if
were.
he was to ask me, I think what the way I interpreted it, just to like diffuse the situation, was just like I've got other friends that don't play games. Like, I played D&D with some dudes on Wednesday, and I would never ask any of them to come play Darktide because they're just not that crowd. I mean, they play D&D, so they're still like fucking nerds, but they're not like gamer nerds. And I got friends from like Katie's work. Like Peter kind of stopped by today, played a single game, then like left. So, like so he's not like the type to sit up at 4 a.m. like playing games like we do. But like, yeah, he doesn't like look down on them as far as like Hodges kind of like. But like, yeah, kind of like I don't have too many other friends that don't play video games, just because I'm that kind of like style of person, that.
Well, I was kind of just curious.
Magnetized to those people, but I don't know. That's how I interpret it. It's just like, what other people are in your life? I think he's just trying to make conversation, but that's yeah. I don't know.
I feel like somebody who was trying to make conversation would normally do it in a different way so that you didn't offend the other person. But that is to say that that's not extremely necessary, but it's like a little bit necessary, so it's definitely weird, but I don't think I don't think it's obvious that I don't think he did it intentionally, so it's good.
Yeah, I interpret it as like you've been kind of talking about your personal life and your family a bunch, and he's just trying to get more insight into the kind of, people you hang out with, I guess.
The other thing is like you can invite somebody to answer, or you can like be more direct, and it's just more polite to invite someone to answer than to be direct. I guess.
Well, like another reason why I'm kind of curious because you have like a similar background in terms of parents. It's like my parents vehemently fucking hate games, and they destroyed my computers back then. So it's like I'm curious to see like, does your, I guess nothing be like, does your mom approve of it? I'm sure dad's fine with it because he's a software engineer. But for me, it's like my parents, they think it's like the devil. So. But I did not